Hmm. Welcome back to the Shiba Reservoir Chronicle Anime Review Part 6. Yeah, this is the first time in about 2 weeks that I've actually done a review. Well, there's a reason for that, because I was busy last week moving my brother, so now I finally got a chance to do it. Yes, I finally got done 7 episodes. Yep, 33 to 39. And there's like 2 major story arcs in here plus a standalone episode. Okay? First up is episodes 33 to 36, a four-parter, which, when I was watching, I feel like though that they kind of, condensed these episodes. I feel as though that you have two-parters, and then you have, this is the way it seemed, that you had a two-parter and, a conclusion. You have two-parters, and then you have like a standalone episode, and then a two-parter. That's simply it. The Shower Gang arrives in Shara Country. Well, they're separated, and as far as I know, the show doesn't bother explain why they're separated. For they just are. Mokona, Sakura, and Sharon end up with a group of women, a girls' troop, who basically represent a group of guys who are the monastery guys. Okay, bye. And that's where Kuru and Fry show up. Yeah, they just show them around. They're just treated as guests. They don't do anything. And there's hostility between the two groups. Though secretly, their leaders are in a relationship. Yep, which is the level leader. Yeah, this is not revealed in the second episode. And you get a little bit of development here, and then all of a sudden they're shoved off into a world, later revealed to be the freaking past of this particular world, where they're dropped off middle of battle. Yep. Yep. And yeah, they encounter the. Now there was two statues they actually encountered. The statue of Asura and Yashida. Asura is a woman. Yes. And she's referred to as King. Which I'm kind of thinking, why that? This is only like the second series I've watched where you have a woman has the title of King instead of Queen. The only other series I've seen this in is Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, that's by far the only other series I've seen this in. As for the reason for this, never explained. Yeah, never explained. Just that, oh yeah, these two clans follow each other on the frickin' Moon Castle. Yeah, the Moon Castle. What Moon Castle? They pretty much got transferred to a giant rock in the sky, fought over the damn thing, and then they had to grant a wish. And for Ashura's wish is to resurrect Yasuru, who actually been dead. I'm like, there was no sign of the fact this guy was dead. Yeah, if you watch this, you're like, wow. It's like, yeah, and then basically the whole tragedy. Now, some of the plot of this 4 episodes is so off-putting. hmm It's like, okay, let's just have the group get separated for no explained reason, and then they just, show up in this random place. Yep, and it counts the two kings. They have one who get killed, and the other one blows up the moon castle. Yeah, giant asteroid in the sky. How the heck they even get there it's not even explained. It's like somehow they just magically teleport up there. They have two kings have one final battle. Well, one wins, and and it turns out Yoshira was Sakura's feather. Now they get transferred to one world, And they suspect there's a feather there, but yeah, here's kind of the thing. They don't bother to explain. Like, okay. Now, as for why they were transported to this particular world, they do explain that. It's because Yoshira made a deal with Yuko. Yep, she made a deal with frickin' Yuko. So they won't interfere with the main villain. So the main villain in this series won't interfere with the travels. In exchange, what did she give her as compensation? Her sword. Ashura gave her sword and her lover's sword. And after they both died, at least real both dead, yeah, Sharon and Sakura come with Fry and Kiro to the surface. So they apparently have to hide their identities from them, which is kind of weird. As for the reasoning for this is explained. It's so Sharon can fight for real. Okay, at least that's explained. So Sharon gets back, tells the king's most loyal soldier, bury these two kings together because that's what they wanted. He's like, okay, I'll do that. If that's what they want, fine, I'll do it. It's never hinted at if she's actually in love with his own boss. Yeah, I get the fact she's a smoking hot woman, but there is nothing to reveal that he's in love with her. Yeah, the king that he loves, fine. All the subjects love their king, fine, whatever. And then they go back to the world before, and it turns out, yep, this whole trip to this other world, yeah, all set in the past, about 100 years, 300 years. And they go back around to the world before, and they apparently do, and they do not remember that because they changed history. And the two leaders of these two groups, who were secretly lovers in part two of the story, yeah, they get married. Yep, first time they have actual wedding in the series. Yep. And then after they take the feather, hold the feather, they go to the next world. Well, she takes the feather anyways. And then they go to another world, where all but Okina are turned into things on a painting. Yep. Now, the explanation for this is never explained, but it's a fun little episode. It's called Cartoon World. Yeah, that's the world basically it's in. Yeah, but the episode is, I kid you not, Mokina the artist. Yep, everybody is super deformed. Basically Chebe. Oh yeah, and also Sakura's got like rosy cheeks, which I thought that was quite cute. And this is a fun little episode. At least some of the stuff is, at least the plot here is actually a little bit better than it was the previous arc. Yeah, that was the weakness of the previous arc. It had some good story stuff, some of the characters, but not much in the form of development. It feels as though that the last 4 episodes felt very rushed, and we just had to keep wrapping this up really quickly. Yuko's appearance in this particular four-parter almost seemed like a waste of her time. Yeah, she's on screen no more than probably about 5 minutes of this entire four-parter. She only talks to Ashura, doesn't talk to Sharon and Sakura at all. Nope, doesn't talk to her at all. Doesn't tell her that she's the one who was sent to this world. Nope. Whatever. Yeah, this episode is probably the people who created the show is probably their apology for how bad the last arc was because of how convoluted it was. It wasn't it was some there was some good explanation for some character development. Yeah, some minor character development for the new characters. Yeah, and then we received 2 pre-episodes back. Nope, it's all pretty much ignored by the time of the next episode. Yep. So yeah, and it turns out though that the Mokina somehow is transported outside of this place. As for how the heck how the guy Mokina is traveling thing. But as for how they got to the painting and why Mokina is not with them, that by far is never explained. It's just he just somehow randomly finds the feather, or it's a magic pen, one of those famous fountain pens that used to have whale ink in them. So he creates a story. Very interesting one. It looked like it could be one for one of the OVAs, but it's a fun little story. We have Sakura and Sharon in high school, and of course Mocha know about the fact these two were in a relationship. Well, not a sexual one, mind you, but basically a relationship. And Fry is a teacher, which of those Kira was the teacher as well. And and because the guy is never out of the sword, they give him a kendo stick, which is fine. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. And then Kiro gets transformed into a giant monster, and then the monster's defeated by a giant Kiro, and they all get transferred out of there. Oh yeah, and the artist. Well, Mokina just had a blast basically drawing this stuff. The artist disappears. No explanation what happened to her. Yeah, as what her name is, I don't think that the yeah. The weird thing is they don't explain who this artist is. Is that you see her in a picture without her hat. She's like a woman with long blonde hair, and apparently she's an artist. They never show the outside of this room. There's only like two rooms shown in where this outside world. The room where Mokina is, and he just wanders around, and somehow just randomly just finds Sakura's feather, just like that. After they get everybody out of there, he just holds on to it for a little while, and then the very next episode, which in a place called the Principality of Durgoa, which by the look of it, it looks like modern day United States. Big desert, asphalt roads, on a bus. Yeah, and of course being a truck driver. Yeah, it feels like the US, like the Southwest. That's what it seems like to me anyways, because there's some mountains, but pretty much it's desert. Yep. And they have to catch a truck. They just have Sakura's feather on it. So he tried an automated bus, which I'm like, that's interesting. Yeah, I've heard a rumor recently that might be, let's just say, that might be a thing that might be coming in the near future, in the next 2 years. Yeah, in real life. But this, okay. And they run into people who actually counted before. Like, they counted the old man. They actually encountered him back in the previous season for the show. He, of course, is quite interesting because, of course, is revealed in this two-parter. He was previously a truck driver. And mentioned, yeah, this is nothing more to draw one of my big rigs. Okay, fine. And they have like an idol. They don't mention she's an idol until like the second episode. Yeah, there's no mention like, oh yeah, she's on the run for something. Yeah, it turns out she was hiding from the public because she wanted to pursue a relationship with her manager. Okay, fine. hmm Which I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And let's see, what else? Yeah, there's another person on the bus. I think they've seen it before. I don't think she was in the. I think she was maybe in the previous world, but it's not really dealt upon very much. Yeah, ask what her deal is with her. She's invited on board because they want them to talk to the old man. Because as for what her thing is, yeah, she overhears why they're here to get the feather. They don't mention it's for Sakura's memories. Nope, they don't mention it at all. And there's also another woman on the bus. Yet this bus, aside from the Sharon gang, there's roughly about 4 people in this whole bus. Actually, 5. Yeah, there are 5. There are 3 women and 2 guys. Yep. And there's right on this bus. This is okay. I don't really mind this very much. It's the first time in the series they actually have an actual bus. As for a series that has a bus in it, not many series I've watched that has an actual bus in it. The only series I can think of that actually has an actual bus pop up in the series, I believe Yu Hakusho had a bus, though they never rode one, but one was seen. You have this series. You have, let's see, off the top of my head, I think it was My Hero Academia had one. I don't think JoJo Avengers had a bus. No, I don't believe it did. I know Combat Kill did not. I'm trying to think what other series had a bus. Honestly, I can't think of any other series I've watched where they've actually had an actual bus up here, but this is probably by far the first modern day bus. I mean, the way this bus looks, it kind of looks like a Greyhound bus by the outside, but apparently this is a 2-story bus. Yeah, I'm like, where the heck are the rest of the passengers? Are these other people on board? Oh yeah, and what the currency is, they show that, oh yeah, this girl wants to pay them for the fee, just so they can talk to this one guy. Okay. This goes on for a little while. Eventually, they do catch up with the truck. Yeah, and it turns out, though, that the other lady who's by herself, besides the one on board, turns out she is actually an employee who worked for the company that made these automated buses. Oh, yeah, and turns out these buses have freaking defense weapons on board. Yeah, they got freaking lasers. Okay, that's actually quite genius. Like, you don't get them in real life where a Greyhound bus has got laser weapons on board. Yeah, the reason why for this, bikers. Yep, freaking bikers who've got freaking laser guns. Yep. Okay. Yeah, as for a reason why they want to raid the bus, never explained. Eventually, they do get the feather. At first time, Sharon trying to jump on the truck, he hurts his hand. Second time, he is successful. Gets back to Sakura, and of course, nobody sees him doing this. And eventually, they get to whatever city they go to. Yeah, what in the city is never explained. And eventually, the old man goes wherever. The idol goes back to her agency to make them to kind of force them to accept her relationship. As the employee, she goes back to wherever, and the woman, unknown what happened with her. They don't mention her at all, which is kind of weird. Yep, and they go off another world. I would say of these 6 episodes, the first 4 are weak in the terms of plot. Yes, it's got good character development, but the plot is very weak at best. Barely anything is explained. We're forced to go to another world, and they go back to the same world, and they realize, oh yeah, they just time traveled the freaking past. The cartoon world was pretty fun. I enjoyed this one. They don't really explain who the heck this artist was. Yeah, that's the only weakness about the cartoon world episode is they don't explain who this artist is or how the heck they even got where they are. Yeah, or how they got their situation. Yeah. As for these last couple episodes, well, they're okay. There's no real villain in this one. No, it's just catching up to a truck to get a feather. The only kind of villain you might get is some unnamed biker with laser guns. Yeah. But at least this one's a little more interesting. This one's more of character development than a regular plot. That's, I would say, definitely this particular arc, the two-part with the principality. Yeah, this one's a little more interesting than they were in Shira. That one was kind of interesting, but not enough of the world was explained. This one, a little bit of the world was explained, but enough we have a pretty good idea. But I highly doubt the whole world is like this because they show like city. Yeah, and then they go off, and then, well, that's really it when it comes to that. Yeah, so a pretty okay or weak episodes when it comes to this particular set. Now, my next part for this particular one, I will be covering episodes 40 through 46. Why 40 to 46? Because I feel like it. That's simply the gist of it. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have roughly 3 more videos I'm going to do today. Next, of course, will be a movie review, a comic corner, and another anime-related review, which will be a review of the newest episode of the 7 Deadly Sins, okay? But see you next to you. Bye.